Okay,
Okay.
go for it.
So your connection to the Australian artist was tied in with your gallery, your project space, artist-run project space called Hebel 121 in Basel.
Yes.
You started that in 1998,
8.
and you showed international artists. Your network grew, and the spaces associated with it were Minor Space, Paris Concrete, IS projects, PS projects, all at different stages, but in one way or another. SNO in Sydney.
Yes, yes.
And this circle is a very tight and unique circle.
Yes.
There weren't other art groups around the world who were all sharing the same language, connecting with each other, visiting each other's spaces in such a consistent and unique way. And so, from my point of view, this group of artists was really the most interesting set of people active in art at the turning of the 20th century. The rest of the world seems to have completely not noticed that, which I think is very funny.
Right.
But how do you feel about that?
I thought it was a very good thing for everybody who was involved to be in contact, this way, that way, all the ways. But that was the good part. The little bit funny part after a while to me was that it kind of turned into a roundabout circle idea of everybody's showing in every place of those places, and it can happen that this doesn't last long because becomes a repetition.
Right.
So I thought it's important to stay a little bit outside. Also with Hebel 121, we participated in certain connections or exhibitions, but not in all of them. So we said, oh no, that's too much now, and we also had contact to other artists in other places, which we always thought it's really important not to be too tied with a certain group or also with a certain direction of art, because we don't have a program, we don't have a stable of artists, if you want to say that. We just show, or we introduce artists with their work in our place in Switzerland, and we hope that people recognize that, and if it turns well, they would get in contact with galleries or whatever in Switzerland, so we can go on with other stuff.
You have a fantastic research archive about the gallery, and I think, you know, this is, I think you're putting negatives aside or positives. One of the main things about that all these spaces did, coming off the back of a few people meeting each other a decade earlier.
Right.
There are half a dozen intensely deep and rich archives of a particular artistic interaction that went on internationally, totally unique in the scene of things, and totally outside of academia, totally outside of the museum circuit.
That's important too. Yes.
It was independent, international project.
Exactly.
That many of the sort of highlights were interesting, but I think for me personally, with the idea of the artist, gallerist, curator really came to shape with the UND projects, where 3 different gallerists would curate an exhibition in Europe. We'd meet for a day, have a conference, and so it became very American style, you know, like a conference, and then disappear again. So money wasn't being exhausted, you know, and so this was, and all of these things came out of this project. But moving away from that, you're here, it's part of Connie Dietschol's celebrations of 25 years of showing like a particular interest in what I call post-formalist artists. Daniel laughs when I say this, but tell us about that show and when it's on.
It's on right now.
Starts
the
today?
Opening was 2 days ago. The opening was 2 days ago. And the telephone is ringing.
I love that.
I like that too.
It's Sarah.
Oh, really?
Hello, Sarah. Yeah, this better be good because you just interrupted the interview. You're right.
Go for it.
Well,
So you're here today because you're staying with us up in the Beachcomber in the Blue Mountains. You made the beautiful thing, but actually you're in Sydney to participate in the Connie Deitchell 25 years of exhibitions. When does that start, and what can people expect if they go to the show?
it started two days ago. We just finished last week, over the last week, everything. And it's actually an exhibition with 4 artists involved. Besides myself, there's my partner Gerda Meise also, and Amanda Ryan, and Salvatore Panetteri. And there are different positions, and to say my work is one is a series of small aluminum plates, and there is one network, what I call network, and it's usually directly mounted on the wall with adhesive tape. And besides that, Connie asked me to make a wall painting in the on the back side of her gallery. So I did that with the good help of Salvatore, actually, and we finished that a couple of days ago, and that's fine. That should be permanent. It's an outdoor thing. Yeah, and the other reason was to come here for the show at Connie and to do this work we were talking about. And also next week I go to, or in a few days I go to Perth again to do a group show at Pika with AC4CA again.
Well,
So
Daniel,
that's the tour actually.
Daniel, fantastic, and you know, you've made an incredible contribution to Australian art over the years, but
Thank you.
and have provided the most amazing contacts and been an absolute gentleman. So brilliant, thank you.
Yeah,
you too.
fantastic. I love you.
Thank
I
you,
think you're
thank
great.
you. I love you all too.
And I've heard of your gallery, so
Okay.
heard about it
Yeah,
years
people will
ago.
now investigate. You'll get
Yeah.
this hit. There'll be this spike in.
Yeah, we try to stop them because there's one little thing. We invite the artists.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
but you'll get a spike in visitors.
Yeah.
It's funny. We usually don't accept
by invitation.
applications.
Okay.
We really,
Well, they can
from the
find out.
beginning, we ask the people.
Yeah.
Sometimes
See,
it's a discussion. Of
Best to leave that out because they can find that out the hard way.